Namaste everyone, welcome back to Zesty Nemo. This is Srirekha. Whoa! Do you see this? You know what this is? Well, I'm going to tell you. This is a game called Vaikunta Parli, which is also called Snakes and Ladders as we know it today. Not just this, I'm going to talk about 2 more games plus 1 bonus game. So stay with me till the end to know what that bonus game is all about. All these games were actually played in ancient India. We are playing these games even today but with slight variations. But I just wanted to introduce to you how these games were played way back in ancient India. The first game that I'm going to talk about is Vaikunta Parli. This was played way back in ancient India in 12th century. It started in 12th century. So this is also called Paramapada Sopana Patham. So the idea is basically, as Hindus we believe in Prarabdha Karma. So that is past life deeds and past life actions. We Hindus believe in cycle of life. And hence, this game was introduced to the kids to teach them about Prarabdha Karma, about good deeds and bad deeds. So if you do good deeds, you get the ladder. And when you do bad deeds, you are eaten by a snake and you fall back to your original life. So that was the idea of snakes and ladders or Vaikunta Parli in ancient India. So as you can see, there are a lot of ladders, there are a lot of snakes. In fact, the surprising aspect is all the snakes are named after different Rakshasas. And it is even more surprising that the smallest Rakshasa is Ravana. Ravana was a great king who was the antagonist in Ramayana as we know. But Ravana essentially was a great character. He lost his Tattva Guna because of a curse. And hence he became a Rakshasa. He was one of the Jai Vijayas. I did a video way back on Jai Vijaya, so you can go ahead and check that out. I'll link it above. He's in 17 and if you are eaten by him, you will fall back to 6 and you become a dog. Similarly, the biggest snake is Arukamudu, who is in 106 square, and if you are eaten by him, you will fall back to 1 and become a monkey. So this is the cycle of life. So you have to be careful. You need to teach the kids that you need to do good deeds every time and not just occasionally. So you can reach different worlds like Mahalokam, Vaikuntham, Kailasam, and then you get Parashakti, all these things. So if you have Vairagyam, which is in 87, Vairagyam is basically detachment from material aspects. So if you have Vairagyam, you reach Vaikuntham. If you reach Jnanam, which is 79, that is wisdom or knowledge, you reach Kailasam. But then we should not be complacent in saying that I have reached Kailasam, I have reached Vaikuntham. No, because at 121, you have a snake again. And that snake is called Ahankar or Ahankara. That is ego. So people keep saying, I did this, I did that, I. So that Ahankaram is very bad in the sense that even after reaching Kailasam, you can have that. So if you're eaten by the snake there, you become a Rakshasa. So you'll reach 99 square again and you become a Rakshasa. This game is played with cowrie shells or gavalu as we call it in Telugu, or you can also play with dice, and the number of players are minimum 2 and maximum any number of players, because ultimately the goal is to reach Vishwarupa Prapti or Mahavishnu. Everybody can reach this, each will take their own time because again it all depends on how many snakes you encounter or how many ladders you encounter in your game. Ultimately everyone has to reach this. So that is the agenda and the idea of this beautiful game. So now let's move on to the next game. This is the second game which is also played in ancient India. This is called Ashtachamma or Pachisi. This has 25 squares, Pachisi, or Ludo. Ludo is also very similar to this. And there's another game which is very similar to this, which is called Chaucer. And I'm sure you'll all be familiar with this game because this is the most famous game played in Mahabharata between Pandavas and Kauravas. But this was actually played way back in Harappan era as well, right? But this was played in Mahabharata between Pandavas and Kauravas, and Pandavas they lose Draupadi Vastraparan happens and they are sent to the forest for 14 years. So this was the same game which they played between them. So basically there are 4 players, all the 4 players get 4 coins and each of them start from ABCD and play progresses in anti-clockwise direction. You can either play with 4 cowrie shells or 7 cowrie shells as in Chaucer, and then you need to kill at least once to enter from T for all the people. You need to enter from T, and once you're inside, nobody can kill you, and you have to reach here. Whoever has all the 4 points in this square is the winner. Previously, kids used to play this, but these days it's become more of a gambling game, but that is not so. This can be played by anybody. Please encourage your kids to play such games because this improves strategy, concentration, math skills, etc. And let's go into the third game. This is the third game. This is called Puli Meka in Telugu, also Tiger and Lamb. So there are two players. Each of them holds two aspects of the game. One is tiger and the other is lamb. So there are 3 tigers and 15 lambs. So the idea is that the lambs should corner the tiger, and if the tigers are cornered, the lambs win. And if the tigers eat the lambs, then tigers win. It's a very simple game on the face of it, but as you go deeper, it's hugely strategic, right? Because you need to move your lambs on these points, on these lines, and you need to move them very carefully because the tigers can eat the lamb if it is alone. So the lambs need to move in groups of 2 or 3 or more. If the tigers are cornered, the lambs win, and if the lambs are eaten, the tigers win. So this is a very strategic game. So as you keep playing, you'll understand the beauty of this game. Please introduce this game to your kids because this improves their strategic thinking as well as maths, because the more number of lambs are eaten, tigers win, right? So you need to make sure that lambs are alive so that you can corner the tigers and tigers lose. So that's how this game progresses. So this is all about the third game, which is called Puli Meka or Tigers and Lambs. Now I'm going to talk about the final game. Are you ready? Which is the bonus game that I promised. So this is the final game. It's called Mankala or Vamana Guntalu or Palampudi in Tamil, Vaman Guntalu in Telugu. This is Mankala. So you put 48 coins. The coins look like this. The agenda of the game is to own the maximum number of coins. So whoever has the maximum number of coins is the winner. So this game involves pits being put in all these and then moving accordingly. Whoever has the maximum number of pits wins. This is also a very, very old game. So these are the 4 games that I wanted to talk about. So have you played these games previously? Have you played them with your family, friends or kids? Do post it in the comments. I'd like to know more about it. And if you do want to purchase these games, do message me on my social media handles at Zestinimo on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook. I'll tell you where to buy these games. I've talked about all these games today because apart from the digital games that the kids play these days, if they are introduced to these kind of ancient games, they will have more concentration, strategy, math skills, etc. And also, these games are so beautiful that the whole family can get involved in playing these games. So please introduce these games to your kids. As a family, when you play all these games, it will be really fun. And if you have played any other games that I have not covered today, please post them in the comments. It will be really fun to know about all those games. And if possible, I'll make a second part with games that you guys have mentioned. So I really look forward to seeing a lot of comments from your end. So I'll see you in the next video. Until then, follow me on all the social media handles. Namaste.